If you have been laid off recently, you need to watch this video. This is the video for you because I was in that boat and I am still in that boat and I'm still struggling through this. But I just want to have a conversation about what our options are once we've been laid off. So in yesterday's video, I talked about the fact that I'm 39 years old. I was recently laid off from my tech job, making pretty good money. And now I've been struggling to find a job at all. I've applied to 2,100 jobs before I even lost count. And that was quick applies, that was creating a brand new Workday profile for each and every organization. And I have had a couple of interviews and I think those interviews went well, but one company that I applied to, and I think it was back maybe in February or March of this year, didn't hear anything back from them, even though I followed up a couple of times. And that job that they interviewed for, that was pretty low pay actually, and it was only supposed to be for like a 6-month contract, is still listed on their website. So I don't think that they have any intention of hiring for that position. The other jobs that I've applied to, I've seen them still loaded up on the website, or so there's this one company where they're like, well, we don't really know exactly when this position is going to start because we're waiting to get some kind of funding. And then once we get funding, we're going to hire the right candidate and then we're going to start. But we think it's a month from that time, right? So, okay, went through the interview. I think everything went well. And then I got a call like a month later. Oh, we're putting this position on hold. Okay, great. It's not like they're ever going to really hire for that position. Okay. And then I just got an email after email about, oh, sorry, we decided to close this position, or this position is no longer going to be filled, or we've gone in another direction, not even like to a different candidate. Okay, I can accept that. But we're just decided that we have changing priorities or something of that nature. So all these different things that I've been through around the fact that I've applied for jobs, even interviewed for some of these jobs, and now nothing. No thing to show for it, right? So here I am where it's been 2,100 jobs that I've applied to and not having any real hope that anything is going to happen. So what are my next steps? I mean, what can I possibly do? So like I said, if you've been laid off, I think this is the video that you need to watch, because the old advice, which usually works throughout my 12-year career, it always works until it didn't. It's always been effective until now, of just treat applying to a job like a full-time job. Okay, I did that. You know, the jobs that I would apply to that would be close to what I was doing previously, didn't get those. Okay, so let's humble myself. Let's take a step down. Let's even be open to $20,000 less than I was making at the previous 2 jobs. Still nothing. I just don't think there's a magic number, unless the magic number is maybe $8 an hour, that you can really get a job right now if you've been laid off in tech. I mean, there's tons of competition because this channel over the past couple months has covered the thousands of people that have been laid off. And there's really no one hiring because we have these government numbers of, 254,000 people were hired in September. No, maybe 250,000 jobs were posted in September, but people were not hired. Like I always say, find me an interview of people who have just been hired to all these amazing jobs and show that to me. And I'll wait, but I won't hold my breath because I don't want to pass out. And even with the jobs numbers that they do post, we saw a couple months ago, they corrected the jobs numbers down, 818,000 jobs over a year. So none of that stuff should give you any sort of hope, any sort of optimism. So what do I do? What is the plan? Because the plan can't be just keep applying to jobs and keep getting rejected, keep going through all these hurdles. Maybe in a couple months things will pick up, who really knows? But right now, since I am in an okay position for another 6 months or so, I'm trying something different. And people will say, oh, trying YouTube is a crazy thing. It's like not a real job. Well, the real job path is not working out for me, and it's not working out for thousands of you guys as well. So maybe that's not the safe, secure bet right now. So I went and I revived this YouTube channel that in the summer had 700 subscribers. Started taking it very, very seriously and tried a couple of different things. Because originally this channel back in 2019 when I started was about giving tips and tricks on how to get better on LinkedIn, how to do better at interviews, how to deal with chatty coworkers, things of that nature. And that stuff worked throughout all of my entire career until it didn't. So all that stuff, I don't feel very confident anymore that I can give you advice on how to get a job right now. And I don't think anyone else can either. I just think the system is very broken, and it just is what it is right now. Okay, so then I took this channel and started doing some other things to try to make money. I did a couple of surveys, like, doing online surveys and doing different things online where you should make at least a little bit of money. Documented that, doing transcriptions, things of that nature. None of that stuff worked out for me. Okay, fine. One video did relatively decent, but the actual work itself didn't make any money. Most of the times it was like, we have no surveys in your area, or we can't give you any surveys. Okay, fine. Then from there, I started documenting the process of creating an LLC, because if you're going to have a business, you need to be able to do it right. So I documented the whole process of creating a DBA, doing business as, registering with the state, with the federal government, and getting all these things set up so that you can have a proper business. And now I have a business. I'm very grateful for that, but nobody watched that content. And then I began modeling my content after Michael Borniero, who was just doing these walking talks. And he was mostly talking about like real estate and articles related to how, the government is lying to you and the real estate market is proof. I was like, okay, well, I can take that model and make it like the government's lying to you about these jobs that are being created and how easy it is to get a job and how amazing the job market is, and steal that vibe. And that finally started to get me some traction. That led to me finally getting the channel monetized, which means I had over 4,000 watch hours finally, and I had over 1,000 subscribers. And that was huge. I'm very, very grateful for that. But like some of those videos did okay. Like I think at this point I have 2 videos. Like one is at like 35,000, which is my highest viewed video on my channel. And one is at 20,000, which is in the top 3 behind like how to get set up on PayPal. But it doesn't seem like that is the kind of content that is going to take me to where I need to go. Now, since it's been monetized, not making enough money to pay all my bills, but enough to give me hope. Because previously I wasn't monetized at all, and I wasn't making any money, like $0. Now I'm monetized, making enough for like spending change to stop the bleeding a little bit so I don't have to completely eat into my savings. Definitely making me a lot more money than just applying to jobs and getting nowhere is. But if you've been watching YouTube the past couple of months, you'd have to be completely under a rock to not notice the era that we're in. I call it the DoorDash era, where she's just being honest, she's tracking what's going on with her life. I mean, this channel is labor gains. It's all about, ideally, finding a way to make money, make gains, make profit in this economy. Make enough money to support yourself, support your family, pay your bills. And she's just, taking she's got charisma. She's fantastic. She's also been doing it for 4 years, just like I've been doing it for 4 years. So she's not new to this game at all, but like, I'm just trying to be more honest with you guys. I still want to talk about layoffs. I still want to talk about how many people are getting laid off every month. I want to talk about how these numbers are fake, how the government's gaslighting you. I want to talk about the reality behind what's going on in the job market, but I also want to infuse some things that hopefully you guys can relate to. The fact I'm 39 years old. I mean, looking at my analytics, most of you guys should be between 25 and 49 years old. So a lot of millennials here, just like I'm a millennial, and struggling to find a job. Now, some of you guys are fortunate enough to have a job and you didn't get laid off, and that's awesome, but if you're watching a channel like this, you probably would want a new job, so you're probably not super happy. So you're either looking for a new job when you have a job, or you just got laid off and you're looking for a job. So I want to share my journey with you and the realization that I've come to that, yeah, I can continue to apply for jobs, and in a couple of months, if this doesn't work out, I definitely will go back to applying to as many jobs as possible. But I'm not going to give up on this, because if this does work out, there's really no layoffs to happen. If I show up and I'm consistent, I'm myself, we should continue to grow this channel like it's been growing over the past 3 months. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm very, very grateful that something that I had an idea for back in 2018 is finally showing a little bit of life. But what are your options if you're laid off? I'm not saying go and be a YouTuber, maybe that's not for you. And I'm not saying take a loan out, because we talked about a company last week that had $200 million of funding and they're closing their doors. But try something. I guess that's what my message is. Try something. And you might have to keep making adjustments like I've had to make with this YouTube channel. Started off with tips and tricks about how to get a job and survive the job market. Then it went to things that you should be able to do fully online to make money. Then it went to create your own business, document that, okay, that didn't work. And then it went to Michael Bordenero, walk and talk style. That showed some life, so that got us to where we are today, but I don't feel like any of those videos are really gonna go viral, get me where I need to be as far as making enough money to survive on. Okay, I still want to talk about that kind of stuff, but as you see, I'm not walking. I'm trying to find a place to prop up the camera with a relatively nice background and just talk to you guys mostly from the heart about this experience. So if you've been laid off, what's your plan? Is it continuing to apply for a job? Is it, as a lot of you guys will suggest in the comments, learning a trade? To me, I don't think that's going to work out for me. I don't see myself as a plumber, an electrician, a mechanic. That's not my blessing. That's not my wheelhouse. Is it selling things on eBay? I mean, people are still making money doing that. Would you try your hand at YouTube? Would you just go through the things that you have and try to sell that? Would you try to find some kind of job online? Would you teach English online? I mean, people are doing that. Basically, what's your new plan? If the job market doesn't get any better, and if you're not able to find another job in a couple of weeks, or if you've already given up on looking, what's your plan going forward? My plan is to go all in on this YouTube. If you follow me for a while, you see I'm showing up, putting out 5 videos a week. We're making a little bit of money, and I feel like we're one viral video away from getting to where we need to be, because, hopefully you guys can, relate to this, because I'm not the only person in the past year or two have been laid off. So there's people out there who can relate to my story, and hopefully the things I've talked about in this video and other videos have been relatable to you. So for right now, for the next couple of months, this is my plan, to go all in on YouTube and see if we could stop the bleeding money and turn that into paying all my bills, at least breaking even money in the next couple of months. And I'd love to hear what your plan is for the next couple of months down in the comments below. Talk to you later.